Good afternoon and welcome to LUTV's coverage of the clash between Leeds United and Bolton Wanderers. The game at Thorp Arch in the Professional Development League, of course, the northern section for these two sides. A bit of background before we go through the two teams while we wait for Leeds to make their way to the field of play. Leeds have got no win in 4, but the majority of those came in the PL Cup because of league exploits. It was a draw in the league last time, but they've been unbeaten since October in the league. It's much better for the Whites. And in terms of the table, Leeds have got 2-game cushion on Burnley, who sit just 3 points above them. And it is only 6 points away from table toppers Nottingham Forest. So a great chance for Carlos Colbrand's men to retain their crown. And we'll run you through the two teams quickly. So for Leeds, we have a very strong lineup once again for the 23s. It is Elia Caprile in goal. It's Ollie Casey, Charlie Cresswell, Gaetano Berardi and Niall Huggins, Jack Jenkins, Theo Hudson, Stuart McKinstry, Liam McCarron, Bobby Camwer and Ian Pervader. For the subs for the Whites, it's Harrison Mayle, Joe Stanley, Barry Douglas, Jordan Stevens and Alfie McCalmont. So it's Carlos Colbrand's 11. As for Bolton, today's visitors, it's Luke Hutchinson, Harry Brockbank, Arasami Amadi, Liam Edwards, Adam Senior, Sonny Graham, Regan Rhinley, Joe White, Mohammed Fall, Jay Fitzmartin and Joe Bunny. The subs for Bolton for David Lee, the coach, is Callum King-Harms, Kane McGarkey, Demario Brown-Sterling, Daniil Richards and Ryan Colvin. Myself, Tom Hill and Ben Parker will bring you all the action as usual for the 23s. And we spoke last time, Ben, when we did the PL Cup game against Derby, about the different playing conditions with the weather starting to change a little bit, different surface, and of course the recent storms, so the wind will be picking up, and of course a chance for the players to change their tactics once again on the floor, try and bring the likes of Pervader, McCarron in with their pace against the Bolton team, by the way, that has struggled this season. Of course, the club have gone through some tough times. They've lost last night, conceded 29, so it's a chance for the attacking players, Ben, to hopefully, fingers crossed, show their flair.
Yes, good afternoon, Tom. Good afternoon, everybody. And you're right, it's a great opportunity to beat a team, basically, who, like you just mentioned, have been struggling. But best way to go about it is do the right things. Don't be naive. Don't think you can turn up and it's going to be an easy type of game. You've got to go out, earn the right, got to still play the way we can do. And the Friday night game, just the one that's just gone against Derby, a lot of good things. Just in the final third, just didn't quite have that cutting edge. But with the players on show, the main one, Ian Pervader, yet again get some more minutes from the right hand side. You're looking to feed him the ball nice and early. Hopefully, can produce something.
Yeah, so the kits need no introduction. Leeds in all whites, Bolton in the luminous colours. The referee's checking with both keepers, Luke Hutchinson and Elia Caprile, that we're okay to continue and get going. And it is Leeds that start the game. Casey from Jenkins, and they will now build out from the back. Huggins down wearing the number 2 shirt today as he whips it down this right-hand side. It's allowing Leeds to attack straight away with McKinstry. Great feet from him. Across the face of goal. And cleared away straight out of play for a throw-in. But you're a big fan, well, like all of our players, Ben, you've been impressed by quite a lot of them, but Niall Huggins, you've seen him in the number 10 role, you're impressed. He played a bit deeper on Friday. A chance for him as a bit of a right wing back, but of course we know he'll cut it as many times as he can.
Yeah, it's a definite new position for him. And you're right, been really impressed in his forward play. Such a talent, can use both feet. He can tile penalty defenders up, just the way he glides across the pitch. But no, he'll have a bit of defensive work today, just especially if crossing from the far side, get your position all right. But going forward, it won't be a problem from that position.
Yeah, ball flowing over the top, looking for McCarron. That took a touch off the Bolton right back, which is Harry Brockbank, and Leeds have a corner. Huggins coming across to take it. Theo Hudson lurking nearby. Of course, Theo Hudson was the scorer on Friday, as Leeds were beaten 2-1 by Derby in the PL Cup. So Huggins to take. Looking for Cresswell. Header down, takes a slight deflection into the hands of the keeper Hutchinson. And if you've listened to any of our coverage all season, especially the last week, we know how much we've hit the drum, beat the drum about Charlie Cresswell's threat from set pieces, and again he is the target there, and I'm sure for the rest of the game he will be a real threat. As the free kick's given to Bolton, the referee's not happy with the way it was quickly taken. A chance as well, of course, we know about the Ryan Edmondson injury. Ben, striker Bobby Camwell's been given the number 9 shirt. He got 45 minutes on Friday in that role, but Leeds didn't really have the platform to create too much for him. So interested to see what he can do up there, because he's a big, he's a big lad. He's very pacey, but different aspect to his game on show today.
It isn't the word you use there, Tom. Platform. That's what he needs to give us today. When the ball goes up to him, he needs to be able to look after it, but also look to try and get in behind, use his strengths, which is obviously his pace. But on the build-up play, if he can look after it, bring other players into play as well, then also get himself in the box, be a nuisance inside that penalty area.
Huggins just slips as Bolton win the ball back. Camwa trying to put pressure on Hutchinson. 3 minutes in, and not too much happened so far. Cresswell to Casey. Casey to Gaetano Berardi, who just skips inside. Nice and easy as Hudson needs a bit of help, good strength. Tries to play it down the line, looking for McCarron. It was a complex pass, not the easiest he had out of the 3, but that's what Theo Hudson does. He tests himself. He's a very creative-minded player, Ben, and maybe a little bit less zip on the ball, and McCarron could have got there. And
again, he's got number 8 on his back, played that position on Friday night, and he did well. It's not a natural position for him, but he got the goal, got forward. You could see his strength there. He's always positive when he's receiving the pass, tries to get on the half turn. He nearly found a nice little ball, like you said, just down the side of the centre half, but just had a bit too much weight on it.
Good ball out from Capriel as Casey gets it. Cresswell has got so much space to manoeuvre into, but for now he goes with a crossfield ball to Hudson. It's quick from Leeds. McCarron, he's got Berardi on the overlap. Hudson in the middle. Goes back instead to Jenkins. Good tackle from Liam McCarron. Hudson nearly caught on the ball again. He said he goes past one. That's a fair challenge. A heavy pass though from Bolton's midfield. Camwa now slips. He has enough about him to get to his feet. The flick goes wrong as McKinstry, playing number 10, telling his back, nips in. Wants the 1-2 with Pervader. Gets it. It's Hudson. It's quicker from Leeds. He's going to go for goal, and just too much loft. Scrappy is probably the best way, but quite good, Ben, in terms of winning the second ball. Players always offering a different angle, and every time the pass went wrong, it was won back and started again. So tenacious play, which is good to see.
Yeah, it is. And it's always key. It's always that battle, winning the second balls. As you mentioned, we started the game really well in that kind of aspect, winning on the turnovers, and then going forward with the pass. That's always good to see as well. Your first option, can you play the pass forward if it's on? If it just that occasion, Theo Hudson might have just been better just to slide into that kind of central role, a little pass, but opted for the shot. Just got a bit too much on it.
Lots of poor clearance now. Pervader's latched on to the loose pass, looking for the run of Camwa. Doesn't get all of it. Ian Pervader did have a bit more time to try and go for goal, but perhaps the safer route was straight into the number 9. Casey to Berardi, looking for Camwa. 4 in white shirts on the attack, 5 in fact with Pervader on the other side. I'm going to say there's an offside flag, perhaps against Camwa originally. This Bolton press isn't exactly in your face. If you're a centre back, it's all pretty compact in their own half and towards goal.
Yeah, they just kind of struggle at the moment, Bolton, to deal with our kind of movement. Seen Berardi a few times from the left back position joining in. It's almost been the furthest play forward on a few occasions, so it's just difficult whether they're going to drop in or going to try and press. Just caught in between both at the moment.
Yeah, Berardi's going to try and get to the ball. He's beaten to it. Ball's going to come into the box via a Jenkins touch, and that will be a Bolton corner. Suddenly Graham has gone across to take it. Huggins at the near post. McCarran can now bring the ball away. A little step to his left-hand side. I thought Liam McCarran was one of, if not Leeds' best player on Friday. Really coming on the last couple of months, of course. Played left wing back, played left midfield. He's played a bit more central as well in the occasional 23s game. Very similar to Stuart McKinstry, who's played centre midfield and down either flank. And McKinstry gets it now. It's nearly a good turn. He's just caught out of the second touch. Leeds get the throw in. Cresswell is fouled from behind by the centre forward. Great strength. Too much and through the back of Cresswell, who will take this free kick. The referee's having to explain to the Bolton player why that was given. That was foul going through the back. Great work from Hudson. McCarran's beat the offside trap towards the far post, and McKinstry can't adjust his body to fire it in. He went with the knee. Wasn't going to work, but I was just about to make the point before Theo Hudson played that pass that he's done very well. He's got a low centre of gravity. He holds up possession really well, but he's got players that are much bigger than him in stature, Ben, that are trying to outmuscle him. But that was fantastic work, and the ball down the line was even better. Yeah, he
did well. And you mentioned like the size, so he's got to come up with something a bit different. And he certainly did there. As now Huggins from that right back position has won a corner on the far side.
Mitch Hudson looks as if he's going to go across to take.
Good Liam, good Liam. 2v1. Liam, deeper, 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 deeper. On the back. Just go all the way with him. You should always take that space in front. Let's do it, deal with the rest.
Not the best connection. It'll fall to Canwer. Tries to win the second header. Casey takes it away from Cresswell. Now foul will bring it down this right wing. His touch is too heavy, so there is Liam McCarran. Back to Elia Capriel, who will just adjust his feet and play a simple pass into Cresswell. A searching ball out towards the left-hand side. The young man coming in the January window, Ben. New keeper, something to watch out for. We thought the first thing we noticed on Friday was his, I guess, comfortable side, both right and both left. Didn't look out of position on left or the right. We'll get your thoughts on that in a second as Poveda tries to come down to the byline, cuts the ball back low and hard. Keeper comes out. Good attack from Leeds. Poveda with a touch or two on the right wing. But yeah, back to the keeper. In possession, very good. In the air as well. And a case of needs to get some regular runs together, but that's a department you spoke about on Friday being very competitive.
Yeah, it is very competitive, and you expect all the keepers now to be comfortable with the ball at the feet. So it'll be interesting how he gets on just doing like the basics, where he comes out for crosses, handling on shots as well. But we're good to see Pervader there, be nice and positive, driving to the byline.
Yeah, here he comes again. Perfect timing as Camera releases Pervader. Dummies the cross at first, tries to pick a better ball out, looking for Camwa. He's unlucky as Berardi nips in. It's good support from Leeds. Jenkins in possession now. He goes towards halfway with Cresswell. Can't keep that ball in play. It's just over Pervader's head. He's dominating so far. Early stages, 12.5 in. Good touch from Hudson, second one as well. Has he drawn the free kick? Referee says not. Hutchinson in possession for Bolton. It's not a free kick. Wasn't a big enough touch from Berardi. Now Berardi will come down the left. It's a good idea to try and find Hudson, who just can't adjust and get to it. Foul now to try and hold it up. Casey for company. Flicks it out, and Bolton can't, at the moment, seem to string a couple of passes together, but easy to start punishing them for it. McKinstry for Huggins, really good pass, low and hard. Huggins now into the box, right and left. He'll go for goal and he'll find the corner. Great work from that Huggins, too quick and too clever. The ball forward from McKinstry. They're trying to celebrate. They're saying the celebration suggests it's pretty muted, as if it's been disallowed, but no. The rest of the players are coming in, Ben. All got a bit confusing, but Leeds 1-0 up.
I'm not too sure whether the deflection actually came off Liam McCarron, the way they were kind of sheepishly kind of celebrating there, because they definitely took a deflection on the way through. But it's done so well. This is what was on about Niall Huggins. Can go left, can go right, dipping in and out. But McCarron's got out of the way. Whether they're trying to say it's been impeded, the keeper with the sight is in offside position. But it just jumps out of the way of the ball. A little deflection pass, but great positive play by Niall Huggins.
Yeah, I thought the touch came off either defender and then the keeper's leg, and it just trickled in. But seeing the replay, you can maybe suggest that, as you say, it was the keeper unsighted. That was a great ball, though, from McKinstry to start the attack. Drilled into his feet, and the first touch was fantastic. As Leeds will continue, and hopefully in this vein, add another as Hudson. Beautiful ball to McCarron, one-on-one. Into the far corner, and Leeds in total control. Hudson with the through ball, and now McCarron slots one home, and there's no confusion about this one, Ben.
Certainly isn't. Fair Hudson's had an excellent start to this game. First 15 minutes, it's been such a bright spark. The midfield for Bolton can't get anywhere near him. As soon as he breaks clear, game's been nice and positive. A little simple ball through to McCarron. And then you're just wondering, has he got the composure? And he certainly has. He jumped out of the way of the first one, but he's definitely not jumping out of the way of that one. Great finish, 2-0. And this is where you need to be ruthless now. Keep going for the third, fourth, go for the jugular.
Yeah, touched upon it in the pre-match chatter. Conceded 29 in 9 of Bolton. Of course, some of their 23s players have been playing in the first team squad, which such as their issues this season. So you can forgive them this year for the 23s campaign for being a bit off the ball, but they do have a lot of games in hand on some of the teams around them. And that was a point I was going to make, as Bolton just played a ball out of play, that, you know, Leeds do have 2 games in hand on Burnley. They have a game in hand on Forest. There's a couple around November, December time that had to be moved for either the weather or fixture clashes. I think it's a big relief that today's game is on with the recent storm, that they gain ground. You don't want fixtures to be clogging up. They play about 6 or 7 games this month anyway.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of Monday, Fridays throughout the week. How the fixtures have kind of panned out. But now the boys will be relishing this, just to get another game under the belt, close that gap towards the top as well.
Hudson in possession. Goes around the outside, dances his way through. And it's going to be a Leeds free kick. Hudson leaves it for Niall Huggins, who looks as if he's told the big boys to go up. So Cresswell, Casey, Camwa, all lurking. It's towards Cresswell, back across goal. Casey to try and strike, but for the defender getting there first. Berardi jumps up with foul. Huggins getting back, so Huggins have gone from left to right, back into his right back slot, won the ball back and started the attack. It's terrific work from Leeds as here comes Casey. A touch from Jenkins. Fighting away to win the ball back. He does, but only for a throw-in, but still good work from Leeds' number 4. Free kick, McCarran through the back. Bit of an important lesson, Ben, in terms of Leeds think they're a level above, which so far, early stages, they are proving at the moment they can play a level above, but to not be naive and try certain flicks, certain touches that are not going to work. As you say, ruthless is key. A needless free kick there to give away as McCarran puts Leeds under pressure. Chance for Cresswell to head clear. As Camera tries to hold the ball up, he's dispossessed. Fitzmartin comes away with it. He's going to go for goal. It's not a bad effort, that. Under pressure, someone on his case at all times. But yeah, we know from speaking to Carlos Corberán that he won't enjoy the players trying to showboat too much. He'll want a very clinical performance today.
He will do, and that's about doing the right things in the right areas. Any game of football, do the basics well, gives you a chance to go on and win the game. And even more so when you say just to see a cut above against the opposition like we are. So McCarran's down the left hand side again.
Yeah, free kick's given against Brockbank, much to his disgust. In fact, no, it wasn't. It was actually Adam Senior. As McCarran, big smile on his face as he gets to his feet. Hudson's cross is blocked at the near post. Poveda. Neat first touch from him. Still got it. He's got foul. Chatham put him under pressure. Ball across the face of goal. Headed up and away. Second time of asking. They've still not got it fully clear as Huggins flicks it to McCarran. There's an offside flag coming up, but that's one aspect, I guess, of Poveda's game we want to see is the crossing. We've seen the fancy touches the first couple of games. And that was certainly one that asked questions of the defence.
And what is good about that, you don't have to beat a man as well. Yeah, it's great when you can skip past somebody, but sometimes mixing your game up, just chopping back onto his favoured left foot. Only needed half a yard and a great delivery in.
It's cleared away straight out of play for a Leeds throw-in. Today's Under-23's coverage brought to you by Deliveroo, Food Freedom. Casey's got so much time. Last second decides against the pass. In fact, he's been caught out, so Casey now has work to do to go retrieve possession. Good tackle from Casey. Concedes a corner. He apologises for the earlier mistake where he lost possession as well.
Yeah, no, just don't be sloppy on ball, especially the two centre-halves. It's a game and a time for them to just to keep moving the ball quick, limit your touches.
Camware heads clear. Took a slight deflection, doesn't matter. Elia Capriel is underneath it and he tries to go long immediately for Poveda. Here comes McKinstry to pick up the pass. Floats it over the top looking for McCarran. Had plenty of options there, McKinstry. McCarran's done so well to keep it in and he wins a throw-in. Berardi nips in after Hudson lost the ball. Here comes Jenkins into Camware. Camware's going to try and float it top corner. Just too much power. I like that though, Ben. First touch out of his feet. He's got the number 9 on his shirt. He might as well have a go. Yeah,
nice and positive. But again, in that midfield battle, winning the second balls, winning the challenges, and when it's high up the pitch, it's going to create chances. Like this time with Jenkins, just right on top of his man. Great pressing, turn the ball over, and you're right. With well, you can wear. No reason why not to have a shot there.
Yeah, ball down the line. It's flicked away. Suspect throw-in from Huggins, but referee will play on. Jenkins into Casey. It's really good from Leeds, going straight through the middle of Bolton's midfield. Huggins turns inside, rides the challenge, skips past him again into Poveda. Poveda trods on the ball, steep, still keeps going. Just wanted to go and get it back, and now finally he has. A lovely step inside from Poveda. Good ball out to Berardi. Berardi goes near post. It's more of a safety cross, just wanted to make sure he got it into the mixer. No real power behind it, but got to pat Poveda on the back there. He perhaps didn't need to touch the first pass. Got in the way. He will probably feel he messed it up, so he went back and won it and created another.
There's been a lot of talk about Poveda, just trying to get him up to speed things how we play, and that's the key thing, out of possession. You're going to turn the ball over, that's going to happen in the course of a match, but it's your reaction trying to win it back, and that was spot on from him there.
Yeah, ball down the right. Here comes Huggins. He's got Poveda on his inside. Goes for that pass. But you can see Poveda telling Huggins he was there. And that was a simple ball.
Every pass is simple from where we are, Tom.
Very true, Ben. Very true. As the centre forward brings it under control. Here is Senior. Camber's on his case. Saying that, we both would have scored that Wolves miss the other week, wouldn't we? So, here comes Poveda down the right. That's a really good pass from Huggins. This time, he's got a bit more time to pick out a pass. He goes for Camber, and the defender comes across. As Huggins just about runs that one out of play. Jenkins covers Cresswell and Casey, as there is Capriel out towards Cresswell wearing the number 6 shirt. Jenkins ticking the team over, making sure they keep possession. Berardi dummies it to McCarran. Leeds carving through them at the minute. Berardi keeps it in play, just to make sure Leeds don't concede a goal kick. That might have even took a touch for a Leeds throw-in, but see the referee has given a reminder of the Leeds subs as it is a Bolton throw-in. It's Harrison Mayle, Joe Stanley, Barry Douglas, Jordan Stevens and Alfie McCalmont. Cresswell to Casey. Casey's going to continue to bring it forward. He's even going to go for goal. Near post. Not too far wide. I didn't expect that from Ollie Casey. Charlie Cresswell's hit a few now and again. You were taking the mick out of him last year when he missed a few in the under-18s training sessions.
You almost nosebleed territory there for Ollie Casey. Almost a slight panic thinking, how have I found myself here? Just get a shot away, but nearly found the bottom corner.
Yeah, good effort as McCarron. It's another free kick, surely. And he does win it. It's the number 7 that's fouled him, Regan Riley. I mean, Liam McCarron has been one of the most consistent players the last couple of weeks. Very impressive stuff on that left wing. Could he be the latest in the line that goes on into the first team squad as Huggins and Hudson, like they have done so far, come across to try and take the set piece. Huggins might favour a little cross to the far post in case it can trickle in. He just put some loft on it. Hutchinson comes out. It's good hands. The issue for Bolton so far today is they're that defensive minded because Leeds are on top that the keeper's just looked up, Ben, to try and play the long ball and thought, well, I can't because there's nobody up front, and they just keep giving the ball away.
Yeah, that's the difficult thing. Keeps coming back. You can see there. He's tried to go long. Let's hit it back to the keeper, and we can start the process of building an attack up from the two centre halves now.
Casey to Berardi. Cresswell. McCarron will be the target. Ball goes out and Bolton give possession back to Leeds with yet another throw-in. Still 2-0, just about half an hour gone. If you're only tuning in to LUTV's coverage now, myself, Tom Hill, and Ben Parker bringing you the action, and it has been a Niall Huggins and Liam McCarron goal each, with McKinstry and Hudson getting the assists so far. Berardi looking for McKinstry, just sells him short a little, not enough power. McKinstry with a lazy tackle, and they win a free kick they'll be pretty happy to receive. Bolton stops the onslaught of Leeds attacks and possession. As we are going to get a change, and it is going to be Barry Douglas stepping into the void at left back for Gaetano Berardi. So we're half an hour in, pre-planned by the looks of things, as Carlos Colbrand often does. Just a steady little run out for Gaetano Berardi. Barry Douglas will be looking to do more of the same and offer a bit more attacking output down the left. Douglas's first involvement is to just get in the way and make sure Katie has a free pass. Cresswell. Here's Casey. Casey to Cresswell. He's got a lot more time than he realised. The Bolton player had backed off him. Past the half-hour mark. Here is Douglas. Douglas to McCarron. McCarron back towards Douglas. A reminder, build-up coming up from 6:45 on Tuesday. That's tomorrow night. Leeds away at Brentford as Douglas looks from Poveda. Thumbs up from Ian Poveda as he appreciates the pass. McCarron beaten to the ball by the sliding tackle. And Bolton in possession. I mean, with Bolton being down the table, again, no disrespect to them, but as a game, as a spectacle, they're struggling to really even keep the ball and test these. But it's just been a bit of a lull in proceedings because it's not an onslaught of lead attacks, and it's actually helped Bolton settle down a little bit.
It has. They've had a decent response from going 2-0 down, conceding that second one. Just tried to play in the right areas, do the right things. But you can always see from our boys there's always a few more gears for us to go through.
That's all the work from Barry Douglas. Little naughty clip of the ankles by the number 7 Riley, and Hudson's now chopped down. Vader down the right wing, goes in with his right foot, trying to go near post. Predominantly left footed, but I like the fact that if he turns round, he's got what 2-3 players on his back ready to try and attack. He's gone early. You can see he's trying to have a positive impact in the game. Steps off the bench on Friday, Ben, so a bit more game time for him today as the ball is played out straight away for a Leeds throw-in.
That'd be right. It's good to see him going down on his right hand side. It's always a nightmare for a full-back when the winger's doing that. You don't know which way he can go. I think just on that occasion, not a bad cross. You just need runners going across the near post.
Here is Douglas. The free kick given against Leeds in midfield. Rockbank skips away from McCarran. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, Bolton have just had to put their foot on the ball a little bit. Leeds' pressure not as intense as it was in the first few minutes. Once they go long, though, Cresswell will allow that to trickle past to Caprile, who picks it up one-handed. Casey to Douglas. Douglas goes early looking for McCarran. It's a good ball over the top, but he sets off too early. Hudson with his head in his hands in the area because he knows just how important that cross was going to be for him. Inch perfect from Barry Douglas Bennett, left back.
You don't expect anything different with his left foot. But it looks a tight offside, did that. It looked very close, but offside is given.
Jenkins, so much space as he goes to Huggins. McKinstry, back to Jenkins. McKinstry out to Huggins once more. The number 10 role really suiting Stuart McKinstry this season. And here is Pervader. Great skills once more, wins a corner. I like how the skill is just the once. Skill than the cross. You can see players sometimes at this level, the 23s, especially if you're coming down, of course, from essentially a first team squad member, try to impress, to try and maybe take the next player on, then the next one. But it's all very productive is the word I think to best to use.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about doing the right things. If you're going to do a little step over, you'd have to do too many if you're going to beat your man. And that's what Pervader's he's done well so far this first half. He's kept it simple.
Yes, Douglas. Pervader's come short for him. Back in from Barry Douglas. Casey can't get to it, but it will be a Leeds United throw-in. McKinstry, perhaps a little fortunate. He'll say he meant it. As he gets away from Graham in midfield, he's straight back on the left hip of Graham, trying to put him under pressure. Hutchinson on the ball. Cresswell flies across, good tackle. Plenty of communication out there from both sets of players. Bolton's squad a little bit sheepish at the start, but they're trying to be a bit more organised now. It's all going a bit scrappy as Cresswell goes over the top to Kamwa, who is offside. It's going to be a big test, though, for the 23s without Edmondson as the number 9, because he has been such a regular focal point. I mean, maybe 1 or 2 knocks at best. He's kept himself very fit. I think obviously his fitness has improved while he's been in this team. But interesting to see who Carlos Corberán does go with his number 9, because Cameron's got the shirt now, so it could be 2 months, April time before he is back.
Yeah, we mentioned on Friday, big misses is Ryan Edmondson being out. He offers so much to this under-23s team. More important is goals as well.
Down the left there, Hudson keeps it in. Went for the low cross. Campbell was a little bit behind the run of play as Casey's having his shirt pulled. Great back heel, Douglas to Capriel, and Leeds can restart at the back. Cresswell's caught on the ball. Foul's going to run after this, but Casey's recovered. And that's the centre-back sort of partnership. You have one pushes, one drops deep. That's the second time, though, Ben, that perhaps the centre-back have had a bit too much time and dawdled in possession. Yes. One each.
Yes, since we have gone 2-0, just been slopping these kind of areas. Mentioned limit as touches. That's what you've got to do, especially when a team kind of dropped off the way Bolton has.
Cresswell, plenty of time again. As he looks for Casey. A reminder, today's coverage of the Leeds United under-23s brought to you by Deliveroo, Food Freedom. Hudson's pass to Casey is risky. Casey has to get to it and does. And you can see a little glance over the shoulder from Casey. Doesn't need to say any words, just a glance towards his number 8. But yeah, Carlos Corberán will be happy with the start they made, but I still don't think they're going to get a whole heap of praise at half-time. He'll certainly be on the players' case, demanding a bit more sharpness, as Ben's just touched upon. As they come down the right, that might ease if they get a third. McKinstry, low and hard, McCarran hits it, takes a deflection, and it will be a corner.
And that's just proven there. All it is simple passes into feet, because the space is naturally there, because, like we mentioned, Bolton aren't really doing a full press. So players are just rolling into those little pockets of spaces. And if you just move it quick, as we're just taking a short corner.
Yeah, Douglas to Baveda. Baveda towards the near post, it's fired away. Jenkins back to Capriel. Casey on the ball. A couple of minutes to go until half-time as Jenkins gets possession in the centre circle. Whips the pass out to Huggins. He's got Poveda down the line. Huggins keeps it for the time being. Into McKinstry. McKinstry across the face. It's not going to fall to Leeds. And that will bounce clear. Bolton foul handballs it. Okay. He didn't handball it. As foul now breaks past Cresswell. Fitzmartin, Douglas stands him up. It'll almost fall to Cresswell gets there first. Bolton pushing forward. Referee says the ball was won by McKinstry. Was it me, or are my eyes broken and that striker punched the ball back in place? It didn't go out for a throw-in. I know we're 2-0 up and in control, but...
The thing there, Tom, is only one arm he used, so he was play on.
As the keeper comes out, Hutchinson clears towards Cresswell once again. Pervader underneath it, might have been offside, so just steps back a little. Interesting to see if we get any more changes at the interval. Don't think we'll see one in goal, but of course Joe Stanley's impressed in the last couple of weeks. John Stevens and Arthur McCall want to perhaps enter the fold as well. All over the top, it's going to bounce straight into the feet of Elia Capriel. And he will play the ball straight out to Cresswell again. And perhaps the tempo needs to be picked up a little bit from the Whites if they want that third before half-time. Casey to McCarran, first touch is sloppy. Barry Douglas on the touchline. Casey to Cresswell. Pervader had made the run. Asking for it again from Huggins. Huggins goes past his man, tries to get it to McKinstry. McKinstry floats the ball in. Camber a little bit behind the play again, but he will get the pressure from the defender, and it will be a corner. Referee just has a look at his watch. There's a minute of regulation time to go. Huggins to take. Cresswell underneath it. A little bit too much as he heads it straight back towards Huggins. He's got Douglas just behind him. Towards the far post. Cresswell's the target once more. It'll fall to Pervader. Pervader floats one in, takes a deflection. Casey's underneath it, straight into the hands of Hutchinson. He'll bring it under control and then clear long, looking for foul. Or for Fitzmartin. Capriel off his line like a flash. Now will Bolton try and score from distance. It's an ambitious touch. It's a good turn. Now the shot's looking well wide. And it is. Got to go for it though. I thought it was pretty effective. Take the touch, go past the man. But from our perspective, impressive from the keeper straight off his line, up in the attack. Yeah,
good positional play. And you need that from his goalkeeper because we're brave in his line. The way we press, especially the centre-half's pushing in. So you need to keep it just sweeping in behind, and he did that.
Leeds get the free kick. Jenkins was fouled. Douglas just goes back to Casey. The referee will blow up pretty quickly. There's not too much stoppage time to be played. Ball over towards Hudson. Great vision from Barry Douglas. And there does go the half-time whistle. So that's the end of our coverage on LUTV for the first half. Goals from Huggins and McCarran have put Leeds into a 2-0 lead. Second half coverage coming up in around 15 minutes' time. Welcome back to LUTV's coverage of this professional development league game between Leeds United and Bolton Wanderers. Leeds 2-0 up as we're about to get this second half underway. And we have had a change for Leeds. Jonathan Stevens is on for Ian Pervader. And Bolton have also introduced a change as well. Number 14 has entered the game, which is Sterling, which looks to be for foul. There's another change as well, as Hans has come on up top. So King Harms for Bolton. Myself, Tom Hill, and Ben Parker bringing you all the action for the 23s as always. Comfortable really in the first half, Ben, but for 25 minutes it was good on the eye. Leeds in total control. The last 15 or so was a bit more like a training exercise, not much tempo to the game, not as much clinical finishing in the final third. I think Carlos Colburn, as we touched upon, would want a bit more than that.
Yeah, it was. It almost seemed like we were just in second gear. In a way, it was kind of too easy at times for us. And that's going to be the challenge this second half, because if we go back into a sloppy routine, you only take a chance that you might get something from this set piece, Bolton, so you've got to be bang at it for the full duration.
Yeah, ball forward, flicked away. I think it's an offside against Sterling, which Leeds will try and react to quite quickly. Ilya Capriel ready to go. Here is McKinstry. Up to Canwa. Canwa's got Stevens on his right, and now he picks him out. Will he return the pass? Tries to go and do so, and it's taken a deflection and out for a corner. Just one touch perhaps that sent Stevens a little wider than he would have liked, Ben.
Yeah, I think initially we were trying to get the ball back towards Bobby Canwa. I just think the Bolton defender kind of shut it off, so that's why he tried to take it to the byline. Just a little bit heavy, but don't want to win a corner.
Towards the far post. Oh, beautiful volley into the far corner from Stevens. First time. And he meets the corner at pace. And what an introduction into the game, Ben. Fantastic finish.
Great finish. He just drifted in, ghosted in at the back stick, unmarked. You could see from the way the ball defenders were lining up, they thought there was no one out there. But great run round the back stick. And great finish to find the far top corner from that angle. Delightful. Just opened his body up. Didn't try and hit it too hard. Didn't try and use his laces. Passed it to the far corner. Perfect start to the second half.
Yeah, one of his, if not his best finish for Leeds since he's been at the club. And the immediate impact as Leeds get the third, which will please Carlos Colbrand after that, as we mentioned, that sloppy end to the first 45. Karen just make sure that ball trickles out for a throw-in. Over the top it comes. It's just going to bounce into the hands of Capriel. Mistake at the back from Leeds as the cross is going to come in, and two are waiting for it. It's a heavy touch and sums up Bolton's day that when they've got an opportunity, they've not punished Leeds enough for it.
No, they haven't, but what that third goal should do, that should seal the game really, but now it's about kicking on. Here's King Harms out to Sterling. Good touch from Huggins.
Stevens away down the right. It's a fantastic through ball to Camwer. Camwer's going to try and go for goal. Top corner is ambition. McCarron gives him a look. He should have passed it to him, he thinks. But Bobby Camwer's had one of those games. He's playing central, he's playing the number 9, but that's actually only his second shot of the game.
Yeah, it is. You're just the wrong option there. You mentioned like McCarron coming into the box. Maybe a difficult kind of cross to pick him out. But that's why you just slow it down. If you're going to go for goal, you've got to go across the keeper at very least. But I just think he could have slowed it up. Stevens was following his run into the box after the pass, so maybe that might have been the better option.
Good work from Stevens. Gives away the free kick eventually, but with a real impact. Stevens gets the block. Cresswell comes across. Huggins makes sure he can't be nutmegged. Gets the ball down the right, looking for Bobby Camwer. Camwer, he's so unlucky not to ride the challenge, and the number 5, Adam Senior, comes across to cover. Leeds certainly try to stretch Bolton a little bit more. First 6 minutes of the second half, Ben.
They've tried that pass down the right-hand side a few times so far, haven't they? And the space is there to play it in as well.
Here is Capriel with Casey. To Douglas. It's over the top looking for Theo Hudson, who's got Graham to try and beat. He goes past, shoulder barge. Hudson into the box, across to Camwer, and it's 4. Superb work from Theo Hudson. Great strength, great vision, and Camwer thumps it into the top corner.
It's been excellent, Theo Hudson. They just can't live with him. He showed his strength, and that time his pace. And what I liked about there, he had the composure, had the awareness to drive into the box, but then slowed everything down. And that's where you want your striker, that's where you want your number 9. And Bobby Camwer, just right place, right time. Simple task to turn it home, but excellent from Theo Hudson.
Great strength. Really impressive. I think the defender probably thought that was going to be an easier battle than it was, but gritted and determined play from Theo Hudson, and he gets the assist to add to his earlier one for McCarron. His number 8 position is he's making it his own. Good work from Cresswell. Here is Capriel. Into Hudson, he just can't get to it first. He's going to bring down the sub Sterling on the edge of the box. Probably a wise decision. I think he was about to shoot, Ben. It's just the pass to Hudson wasn't good enough. But I mean, I don't think it was Hudson's fault that that the Bolton player got to the ball first.
No, not at all. Just a pass you don't need to kind of do, especially if someone is under pressure like Theo Hudson was. Just don't give him the ball. Those straight passes are a nightmare. All it takes is someone to nip in front of you like they did there, you're bang in trouble.
Shot comes in. Just going to hit the side netting for a second. I thought that had gone top bins, Ben. That free kick from Brockbank, but Capriel's reaction told us, and it is still the 4-0. Good effort, though.
Yeah, good technique. Get it up and down over the wall. And you're right, for a split second, I did think you found the top bin. Thankfully, just the other side of the post.
Over the top looking for Stevens. Hutchinson gets there first. Cresswell beaten to it by Sterling. Stands him up there, tries to force him wide. Needs to make sure he can't give a free kick away. Sterling does well, gets it into King Harms. Huggins comes across. Referee has a little look and he has pointed to the penalty spot. I think it's Jenkins, the man that's put the challenge in. And Bolton have a chance to come back into this game.
I think that was very harsh. Seemed that the Bolton player were going kind of nowhere, running out of space on that byline. He just seemed to like fall over, like, not much contact at all with Jenkins, but another referee's pointed to the spot.
So the taker is Joe White. Against Elia Capriel. Will be left-footed, and it's saved. Not the best connection with the penalty, but the keeper goes the right way. And he's following up in Meslier's footsteps in terms of being a penalty guru. Goes the right way. Meslier has saved 3 or 4 this season. The ball over the top for Stevens is just too long. Yeah, I think if the Bolton man gets a second go at that, he'll certainly put more power on it, but we don't care. That's a good stop.
Yeah, good save. Obviously gets the right way. And I'd love to see the save kind of ratio for penalties within the under-23s this season, because as you mentioned there, Eli Meslier is saved more than his fair share himself, so it's a really good record for the goalkeeper saving penalties this season within the under-23s.
Yeah, ball over the top. Stevens in behind. There's Casey. Here's Capriel. Doesn't get enough spin on the pass, but it's a clearance all the same. There's 57 minutes ticks by on the clock, so solid stuff this from Leeds in the second half. 2 goals, Stevens, Camwett, and a penalty stave from Elia Capriel, which we're going to get a replay of now. I mean, you have seen worse penalties in terms of the direction, you know, they're a bit more central, but it just barely got any power on it into that far corner, and a good height for a keeper to try and get down. It is White once more. Good header from Jenkins. There is Graham into Sterling. King Harms comes across, and that is a goal, and a good finish as well as he celebrates. And Leeds just switching off at the back, allowing the free shot, nobody marking him. And while Leeds get lucky with the penalty, Leeds ride their luck with the penalty save, should I say. It is the goal eventually coming in from King Harms.
It's a good strike. He's impressive since he's been on the pitch. He's always drifting away from Capriel there, and he had no chance of the goalkeeper. Be a bit disappointing for the boys. You'd want to keep a clean sheet. But
I think Bolton's best 2 players have been the 2 subs.
They have been. They've looked well. They've given them a new impetus going forward, a bit of a more attacking threat. But from our point of view, come away with this game with a clean sheet. Don't give a goal away.
Here's Cresswell. To Stevens. Neat ball in behind. McKinstry's first touch isn't the best. Second is much crisper though, as he tries to pick his pass towards the far post. Keeper comes out, doesn't get a hand to it. Barry Douglas coming in on the overlap, and the referee's going to give the goal a kick. Not a bad ball from McKinstry there, Ben.
No, it wasn't. Obviously spotted Barry Douglas's run last minute, nearly again ghosted in like we saw Stevens do for his goal from the corner kick.
Yes, a reminder, today's 23's coverage brought to you by Deliveroo, Food Freedom. Ball across the face of goal. Huggins gets a very important touch to it. Stevens Will he now try and keep him in the game? He does with Jenkins. It's towards Huggins. Bolton are going to read it well, which is a shame because Leeds had broke down the right with ease there. It was looking good for another scintillating counter-attack, but not to be. As Cresswell now has it. Fair to say these first 15 minutes of the second half better than the entire 45 in the first. A lot more tempo, a bit higher tempo to the game. Of course, Bolton scoring, making more of a game of it.
Yeah, there's more of an open field to it. Like you mentioned, the two substitutes for Bolton who've come on just had a little bit going forward from what they lacked in the first half. That's just led to it, like I said, just be more open.
It's noticing Liam McCarron just holding the back of the leg. Barry Douglas has been told that's enough, I think. Which is half an hour from his first introduction, so it follows the suit of the game. And this is now Alfie McCalmont in the number 16 shirt. So that suggests to me McCarron will go to left back.
It could be Theo Hudson, I think.
It could be Theo Hudson. So there's different routes. They could go Hudson or they could go McCarron and then McKinstry goes wide. But, well, I was going to say well spotted, Ben, but you didn't spot it. You said it before. We saw Hudson go pick up the ball. And he will just now slot into his position in midfield, McCalmont, and keep Leeds ticking over. So a reminder, he has the 16 shirt on, Alfie McCalmont. Northern Ireland international. As Cresswell nips away from Sterling. Hopkins runs into traffic. Good tackle from Casey. I thought it took a slight touch off Sterling, but not to be. Looks like Graham for Bolton's gone across to take this, just past the hour mark, 4-1 Leeds. Out comes Caprile, good punch. Reads it all the way, gets a good hand to it. Stops the danger.
He did well. He was committed to come out trying to claim the ball. Couldn't get two hands on it, punched it clear. Good decision.
Ball too hot for Canwa, far too powerful, so he can't get to it. Bolton with Senior in possession. He's put down on the deck, which the referee hasn't stopped the game for yet. Now eventually he's going to tell Bolton to kick it out and the whistle to the mouth, so fingers crossed get the physios on as quickly as possible. Looks like McKinstry in the 10 shirt that's gone down. Was it McCalmont in 16? No, in fact I think it could be McCalmont. Perhaps the standing leg was kicked out from underneath him. But yeah, just on into the game. That's not what we want to see. Hopefully it's nothing but an impact knock and nothing serious, Ben.
Hopefully, yeah, like I say, just come onto the pitch. Be a huge disappointment if he can't carry on. Just for him personally, because again he's had another excellent campaign with the under-23s. Hopefully, as you mentioned, so it's a kick more than anything. As a physio, Tom Butterfield's onto the pitch having a good look at him.
The coach is just getting some more instructions across. Calmont has come to the near side and looks as if he wants to have another go and carry on. So the more important news is that he's fit and ready to continue. We might need a new ball. The ball took, well, got one just inside the fence. The referee's going to go retrieve that. A reminder, the coverage tomorrow, it's Tuesday night, of course. Leeds travelling to Brentford, 6:45. The coverage starts here on LUTV. What's that worldwide? Your pass. So the build-up from 6:45 for that Tuesday night championship encounter. Man alongside me will be heading south. As McCalmont looks as if it was just an impact, not Ben. He's running pretty freely there. Stevens has just taken that out of play. Waiting for White to take the throw in, which he eventually does. Here comes the keeper, Capriel, with sliding dives to make sure he keeps hold of the ball. And here's Cresswell. Then approaching the halfway point of this second half. It's Cresswell to Jenkins. Jenkins keeps the move ticking over as Huggins comes across. Stevens behind him. Huggins looking for Jenkins. He'll get it at the second attempt. Stevens tries the nutmeg, which fails. And then Bolton can break down the right. It's over Casey's head, who has to get those legs pumping. Does well to cover with a couple of players out of position. Risky ball into Camwer. Camwer battling with Regan Riley. Referee gives advantage. Good work from Theo Hudson. Into Camwer, whose touch is heavy, but I mean, Theo Hudson's been exposed, the right word, to the 23s level a bit more often than he has been used to in recent months. The last couple of weeks he's been heavily involved, Ben, either playing left midfield, centre midfield or left wing back. I think you can tell that he's adapting to it each week. Him and Liam McCarron, the two standouts for me the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's grown into this.
Charlie Cresswell, really, of course, sorry, as well.
Yeah, they've done well. But the last two games, that seemed an unfamiliar position for Theo Hudson, playing the number 8 kind of role. But he's adapted excellently. You can tell he's worked hard at his game, worked hard on the training pitch, and he's getting the rewards on a match day.
Yeah, Huggins trying to keep it in. That ball went out, did it? Referee says not, so it's Jenkins from McCalmont. Jenkins' touch is heavy. King Harms nips in. That'll be too much for McCarron, who gives it time to breathe that move. He was going to pass it to McCalmont, but decided against it. Here is Huggins to Stevens. Stevens with a really pacey cross, asking questions to the defence. Hudson a bit deep here, so he can't attack straight away. There is Stevens again. Too quick for them as Stevens comes forward. Now can he play the pass? It's to McCarron. McCarron across to Jenkins. Jenkins tries to side foot it to Stevens. Calmont will now pick up the loose pass and start the attack again. Huggins. Jenkins went down the line. That's going to trickle out for a throw-in. Decent that though from Leeds, Ben. Working the ankles, sort of triangle formations with the passes, people zipping left, right. Perhaps thought that when it went to Jenkins, he could have had a shot. He's sometimes not in his makeup though. He prefers to play the pass first time. Yeah,
I just think they'll just do a pass too many. They work the ball, like I said, ever so well. Little triangles, little combinations, little give and goes. But get in that area, put your foot through it.
Casey was looking for McCalmont, but can't get to him. Cresswell. Brilliant pass out to Hudson, whose first touch is just as good. Hudson into the box, goes for the far corner. Difficult to see what he's trying to do there. Is he trying to find Camber? Is he going for goal? I think if he's going for that, he's got every right with the game he's had today. 20 minutes to go, still 4-1.
I think it was caught in between two minds, whether it a cross, whether it a shot. We're neither in the end, just drifted wide of that far post. But no, you're right, he's going to keep bobbing forward, it's Theo Hudson. He deserved a goal, wouldn't he, today?
Yeah, I think it'd be the icing on the cake for him. 2 assists. Hutchinson kicks it wide. Stevens keeps it in. Jenkins likewise. It's Cresswell. For all that move, as it was expanding, I thought he was going to head it back towards Capriel, but confused everybody with the quick thinking to kick it back, or head it back to himself. Over the top from McKinstry into Camwer. That's a good first touch. It's good strength from Bobby Camwer. Just can't play in Jenkins, who slides in early. Of course, there's a chance to see Jenkins further forward with McCalmont the shield behind him now. There is Hudson. Cresswell. Cresswell's going to carry it. He's got McCarron in behind. He's got Jenkins through the middle. He went for the latter. Of all of that, he ignored Bobby Camwer, whose arms flaps there in frustration. Senior gets in the way of that when it wasn't meant for him. Plays his teammate into trouble in white, but wins a throw-in. Got a bit lucky there.
Yeah, they did. You can see we're pressing really well. Bobby Campbell cutting that option off back to the goalkeeper, maybe to the other centre half as well.
Yeah, Senior down the line. That's just going to be a throw-in deeper down the pitch. It's time to Leeds. Calmont wants it back from Hudson and gets it. He looks for the run of Huggins, which is a bit too eager as that pass, a bit too hard. And Huggins makes his way back to right back. Now Hutchinson to take the goal kick. Hudson, foot race, now he has to get to it. It needs to be a good first touch, and it is. It's an even better second touch, and off he comes down this left wing. Jenkins to Huggins. Leeds picking up the pace a little bit. Stevens has gone down the right. That's allowed Huggins to cut in. Back one way, then the other, looking for Jenkins. Just that final ball, last 10 minutes has evaded Leeds. Of course, they've got those extra 2 goals in the second half. Movement second to none, though.
Yes, say excellent again from Theo Hudson. This time is positional play on the cover defensively. That's what you need. We've dropped back down to the full-back position. But then on the opposite kind of side, see there, Niall Huggins. Yeah, his final ball wasn't the best, but again, bombing forward. Yes, the most 2 attacking players so far, probably the second half, have been as well, 2 full-backs at the moment.
Yeah, Hudson in particular, as King Harms gets it, the Bolton goal scorer. Given away. In the middle it comes. Free shot. Riley's going to go for goal. Capriel saves it. Casey's gone down here with what hopefully is cramp as Capriel spotted it. And Casey's going to get some quick treatment off Cresswell.
Yeah, just like to say, just hope it is cramp. It's going to be a long what, 15 plus minutes for him to try and grind it out, playing with that cramp. Looks in some discomfort, does Ollie Casey.
Physio Cresswell's on the case.
Yeah, he's seen it all before. His dad used to cramp up all the time, so...
Still waiting for the physios to be given. I think the referee is maybe saying to them they can come on now. Oh, cramps come back. Cresswell's not good enough at the physio treatment. Let's get some real work on there. And nice smile from Charlie Cresswell. Casey continues to struggle. It's always better being the player, try to help the stricken one on the floor. You can still joke to the referee whether the one's in pain as the gels and the liquids come on. The referee shakes his head. Referee trying to say he shouldn't be having cramp at this stage of a game.
Clearly wasn't happy with something, was he?
Yeah, well, while Casey's been tended to, as I say, we hope it is just a spot of cramp for the Leeds United centre half, and the game can resume with all the players on the field of play. If you've only just tuned in to LUTV's coverage, it is the 4-1. Huggins and McCarran scored in the first half. A couple of changes, Berardi and Douglas getting 30 minutes apiece. A change at the break, and Poveda was taken off as well. And then Stevens scoring with his first real touch in the second half from a corner. Lovely volley at the back post. Check out the highlights for that one. And the same can be said for the two previous. And even the Bobby Camber goal was some really good work from Theo Hudson to tee up Camber. Penalty save from Elia Capril. And then King Harms has tapped in. I say tapped in. Fired home from the edge of the box. So I don't want to discredit him too much, despite the fact he plays for today's opponents, who sit bottom of this PDL North. Leeds cutting the gap on Burnley above them with every win they have through their games in hand. PDL North champions, Leeds, PDL national champions as well. It currently stands, they're on track to try and defend those crowns. Casey's okay to put the tackle in, have to try and get back now as Senior comes forward. Graham in possession. Across now to Amadi. He's got Jenkins trying to dislodge the ball from his feet. Here is Huggins trying to stop Bolton. They come with White. Stevens, the man putting him under pressure. Stevens gets a touch to it. Small words from Jenkins. Great feet from Stevens. It will be a free kick. Leeds perhaps could do with the little breast just to reset. Didn't look like they'd got fully adjusted to Casey going off then for a little bit.
No, it's not moving the greatest as well, so I think the other players around him, in particular Charlie Cresswell at the side of him, just got to be alert. Just again his positional sense, just on the cover, because if he's not moving too freely, that's where you can see Ball try and exploit that.
Cresswell looking early for McCarran, but can't get to it. Hudson and McKinstry interchange passes. Hudson goes over the top to Stevens. First touch needs to be better. He gives it straight to Hutchinson. If he brings it under control, he's got a tap in. The keeper had already committed himself, Ben.
Yeah, it's a great pass. That man again, Theo Hudson. The amount of times we've mentioned him in this commentary today. But great run from Stevens. He'll be disappointed in himself on the first touch, because it wasn't a difficult one. He wasn't having to stretch too far in front of him. Just didn't get it under control.
Big shout from Senior to get to Casey's header. He wanted a free kick. Referee said it's actually a free kick to Bolton. King Harms upended. White, who missed the penalty, will take the free kick. Just over 10 to go. Gabriel gets a touch to it. It's towards Hudson. Hudson tries to release Bobby Camworth. Graham gets to it first. And out comes Hutchinson for Bolton. Just making sure that ball didn't come back onto the field, so it's going to wait for this throw-in to be taken. Stevens will want to make another run, which he sets off on now. These could do with someone dropping short. There is Stevens. Inside to McKinstry. That throw-in routines work perfectly, so McKinstry looking for Stevens, gets a little nudge in the back. White covers him. McKinstry flies in with a timely tackle into the box. He's put too much on that, has he? He's looking for Jenkins. Conditions will help Jenkins keep that in. McCarran. McCarran to McCalmont. McCalmont looks to try and play in Hudson. Gets it to him just about. Offside flag's gone up against Theo Hudson. Always felt Leeds were trying to play Hudson in a little bit too early every time there. They're pretty obvious where they were trying to go with it. Bit of a desperation. Again, a reminder. Today's coverage on the 23 is brought to you by Deliveroo Food Freedom. Plenty of time for a fifth?
Yeah, there's plenty of time.
Just whether Leeds have got the energy in the legs. Here's this thick and fast. Again, it's very easy to forget that some of the players involved in 18's duty. Kinchley, Cresswell, Jenkins. So that was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and now Monday again. Here is Stevens. Might fancy a goal. Tries to flick it over the top to Camworth. Doesn't get it anywhere near him. Gets caught in two minds.
Yes, poor from that position as well. Ideal. Had a run on his outside and Bobby Camworth. Defenders were backing off. Thought he could have took the shot on, to be honest. But no, you're right. Some of these boys have added a lot of football in the past 10 days to 2 weeks kind of time frame.
Here's Casey. As I mentioned, this February run of fixtures, as Casey wins a free kick, is pretty intense. Pretty much been, apart from this Friday, there's been a game Monday, Friday. Will continue next week on the 17th and a few days later on the Friday evening. A game to end the month as well, but of course by then Leeds should have caught up with their fixtures. Calms down in March and April, and then of course if they've got to where they want to be, they'll play in the playoff places for the national title in May. It'd be nice to have a little PDL national final again, Ben. That was nice last time, that penalty shootout.
Yeah, it was great. The referee
great turnout.
Yeah, it was. And that's the good thing about the players are hungry for success. Yeah, a lot of it is about development at this age, but if you can add that kind of winning mentality, winning trophies as well, it's a great mixture to have.
The referee gets in the way with 6 minutes to go as McKinstry picks up the pieces and ready to go again. Huggins got Hudson on the overlap on the left-hand side, tries to pick him out. Defender gets to it first, Brockbank. Graham runs into McCalmont. Here is Riley. Caprill and Casey exchange passes. Cresswell on the ball. McCarran with a nutmeg. I think he might have gone down with some cramp as well now. Jenkins gets in the way. Huggins plays it into Camworth. Camworth's got McKinstry through the middle. He's released him, but Stevens gets there first. Stevens across the face, headed away quite well by Bolton. And the Bolton players has perhaps got a little dizzy after that clearance. McCarron is on his feet and now just in the centre of the park as it comes to McCalmont. He's got Hudson again on the left. Out towards Stevens. He's got Camwa on the underlapping run. Ignores him. McKinshin Stevens back and forth. It was Huggins. Huggins to Stevens again. And at walking pace for Leeds as Cresswell tries to do something a bit different. Charges through the middle. Hudson to McCarron. They work the 1-2. Do they? Just too much power. He will skip behind for a goal kick. Still the scoreline at 4-1 to the Whites.
It's almost like they're just happy with the 4 goals in that kind of passage of play. There were 2 or 3 times where Stevens in particular could just open his body out, played in. It was Jenkins down on the right-hand side, but opted just to keep possession. Like I say, I think they're just trying to play a bit of key ball now. See it out 4-1.
Jenkins was looking for Stevens. It's too powerful. Out for a throw into Bolton. White's going across to take it. Too much on that from Cresswell, so it will bounce straight into the hands of Hutchinson. Couple of minutes to go. Don't think there's any need in asking your man of the match. Pretty set, I could guess it. Yeah, Hudson, level above today. Yeah,
pretty straightforward. It's been excellent. Everything is done, both on the ball, off the ball, and seems that he's really enjoying his football at the moment. He's playing excellent. He had a good game on Friday against a strong Derby outfit, and he's carried that forward until today as well.
Yeah, Stevens to McCalmont and back. A chance for a 5th. Stevens hits the near post. Keeper saves, turns it behind. It will be a Leeds corner. Hudson's ball in, flicked away only as far as McCarron. McCarron looking for Stevens. Stevens can't get to it, but he will win his side of throwing with that late bit of pressure. Back-to-back throw-ins for Leeds with Hudson to take towards McCarron. McCarron wrestles, gets the last touch. Bolton will clear again, only for another throw-in. In fact, no, Cresswell was waiting for the linesman to give it. Nothing given. So Leeds will get a consider free kick for handball. I've had a couple of breaks for injuries in the subs, but not sure the referee will want to play too much added time. As a look at the watch as the 90 is up. It's into Sterling with White. White's turned Stevens, and again. Penalty appeals against Cresswell. Riley saying he was pushed. Referee ignores all as he gives Leeds a chance to build out from the back with Cresswell. Hudson caught on the ball. First mistake comes in stoppage time as Casey stretches out the legs to keep the ball from reaching a Bolton player. Here is Jenkins. Looking down the line for Stevens. Stevens is upended. Referee said he's pulling the shirt to stop him. Stevens not happy with the contact. McKinstry on the ball. To Huggins, back to Stevens at walking pace again for Leeds. These players happy to hear the full-time whistle with the 4-1 scoreline. Job done for them. Back in action, the 23s a week today. A reminder, tomorrow's coverage, Leeds away at Brentford. A 6:45 build-up here on LUTV. Should be a corner and will be. Well, with the last action of the game, 92.5 minutes in. Sonny Graham that's gone across to take the set piece. Leeds must defend this. Keep the scoreline at 4-1. It's going to fall to Sterling. Scrapped away by, I think it was Huggins. Katie gets the next header to it. McCarran likewise. Now perhaps Leeds. So this is McCarran. Now Leeds can counter. He's got Camera on the left. He's got Stevens on the right. It is to Camera. It's a decent first touch to get it out of his feet. Too hot though, and the offside flag goes up. Denies the Whites. Pretty poor there from there. Should have done better. Should have timed it, or the pass should have gone sooner.
Yeah, there's no excuse that for being offside or just delaying the pass. Perfect opportunity to round the game off by trying to get a fifth. But just like the last probably 10-15 minutes, game has gone a bit sloppy. Just no real kind of edge to the game, but we've done enough throughout the course of 90 minutes to come out comfortable winners.
You certainly have. Cresswell to McCalmont. Get the impression some of the players are just waiting for the whistle. Capriel floats it looking for Huggins. Sterling's touch is heavy. 4 minutes of stoppage time now. Huggins to take the throw-in. Bolton win the throw-in. Referee has a quick glance. Casey beaten to it. It's a good job Huggins is there. Huggins turns away again. Too quick for two of them. Now out with McCarran. Back to McCalmont. Ball out to the right wing, but the referee puts the whistle to the mouth and Leeds get the 4-1 victory. Huggins opened the scoring, McCarron doubled it. At the start of the second half, Stevens and Camwer scored 2 quick-fire goals. A penalty save by Ilya Capriel to keep Bolton at bay. They did get a consolation with King Harms, and Leeds get the 3 points in the PDL North. Once again, thanks for listening. As a reminder, the coverage of Brentford starts at 6:45.